My ladies, you've got to join me on the Body Breakthrough Club. What is that? That is my private Facebook group just for you. It's where we get together as like-minded women that want to have a breakthrough with our bodies. Hello. So it's where we lose our belly, not our mind. I'll say that again. We lose our belly, not our mind, but we master our mind to lose our belly. So in the Body Breakthrough Club, you'll find me there. I post all my tips and tricks, some nourishing foods that you're going to want to eat. I've got supplements that you're going to want to take. I've got tips and tricks on some things that I do behind the scenes that I don't tell just everybody. So go in there, join us at the Body Breakthrough Club on Facebook. It's private. I do have to approve you, but it's a lot of fun. We're building it strong, and all my goodies will be in there. Some of the exercises are there. Some of our past 5-day challenges are in there. So don't miss out. Just join us. It's free. You can meet some friends. There's a lot of networking. I found a lot of the women in there have done business with each other. So you can network, sell, get your message out, and also learn a thing or two. So join me there. Body Breakthrough Club. Be strong, be fierce, and what? Be you. Boom. Boom! Welcome to the show. I'm Lauren Empowers. You like that? Lauren Empowers. I'm so excited to be here. We've got an amazing guest. Just to be transparent, you guys, I actually got the COVID. I've been pretty quiet the last couple of weeks, and I'm just here to tell you, as the faith and fitness queen and queen of health, that this thing doesn't discriminate. It can attack anybody, and it got me good. But I'm glad to report that I'm better now. I just did the meds and we stayed home. I've been quarantined since August 5th, which you guys know I'm a very social person. So that virus didn't kill me. That almost killed me, just being locked up, being alone. But I got through it. I'm excited, and I'm healthy enough just now. Today's the best day to do this show live. And I'm so excited because we've had a special guest booked, and you know what? He is amazing. He's just darling. I've seen a couple interviews of him before, and I'm delighted that he agreed to be on the Power Hour with your faith and fitness queen, Lauren Empowers. And you know what? I'm not going to waste any more time because I want to bring him to the show. We've got a little clip to show of him so you guys know who he is. We're going to remind you, if you don't know already, he's awesome. So let's play our video, and then we'll bring him on live.
There are hills and mountains between us, always something to get over. If I had my way, surely you would be closer. I need you closer. I don't care how you get it, just get it. Right here.
So amazing. You know what? He's in our green room right now. Let's bring him up live, you guys. He's here. Make sure you. There he is, Justin.
Hello, hi. You know, it's so interesting to see that. Every once in a while I see that, and it just strikes me. It's in standard def, which is hilarious because that's what TV was 20 years ago. I cannot believe
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's 20 years.
Wow.
Can you believe that? And it's just like, and I'm sure you do this too. You might look back on some of, I don't know, the photos from you 20 years ago when you were in competition or doing something like that. And you're like, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done that. But it's just so interesting to be reminded that there was a time in my life where I had the opportunity to sing on stage in front of 30 million people. I got to do things that,
Only 30 million.
Yeah, just 30 million people, right? Like I got to do things that you would never, ever just now are so kind of almost unfathomable, right? Like you can't get those kind of viewers for like a live show unless it's like the Super Bowl or something huge like that. And yet there was this moment in time. And the reason why I'm here is because of that moment 20 years ago, where I just was so very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to show up and be exposed to so many people.
I guess. Well, your voice is incredible. First of all,
Cheers. Cheers.
Get that out of the way. I mean, come on, rock star. I entered my channeled my inner rock star for you today.
Go for it. I love it. Yeah, I'm so excited and happy to hear that you have gotten through COVID. I actually about almost 3.5 weeks ago contracted it as well. I was hosting a gala out in LA and came home and just 3 days later felt terrible and went through it. My wife went through it. Fortunately, our kids avoided it, but it is no joke. I'm pretty sure I got the Delta variant, and I just have seen how my body has changed, and I feel like now I'm also coming out of the woods as well.
Yeah, well, good, because it's no joke. I mean, I just wanted to say to our viewers, take care of yourselves, you guys, because it can attack anybody. Like I said, I consider myself the healthiest person I know.
Yeah, me too.
I went down hard. I mean, literally, I didn't eat for 6 days. I was in bed. I was, oh my gosh, it was awful.
Yeah,
I'm COVID free now. I'm excited to be here to host this because you're live here. It's just so exciting. I've seen you speak before. I'm part of E-Women, and I know you were a guest on that. So I kind of heard some of your story of, your career, what happened. I can't believe it's been 20 years. That's just, that's wild in itself. Right. Oh my gosh. But I know how hard it is in that industry. I'm not a musician, but I've had, a little bit of opportunity to work with some of the big names. I think Raleigh has some clips there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez. Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Arnold, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Not as a singer though, just as talent as you can see.
It's beautiful. Look, I don't think it really. What it is that we do is we have a message. We have a passion, right? And then we have a message and we want to share that message. And I think a lot of people have passion. A lot of people maybe have a message, but not as many people go out of their way to share that message with the hopes that it's going to help other people. And so whether you're an entrepreneur, you're an artist, you're someone who is in the sports and fitness place, you're an author, influencer, whatever it is, I think there's something to be said, and there's a kindred ship and a kindred spirits for people who do what it is that we do, which is say, I feel passionate about something. I've taken the time to develop my message, fit, fierce, female, as you do. And then I'm going to put that message out into the world, and people are going to say things about me. They're going to either follow me. They're going to unfollow. I'm going to suffer the slings and arrows of life.
That's right.
Because I believe that I have the ability to serve at a high level.
Absolutely. And I think it's selfish if you hang on to, your message, whatever it may be, and just being transparent and being vulnerable, kind of like you know what I mean? Like I said, I've heard pieces of your story, and it's very vulnerable. What happened, and it's called life. It's how we deal with it and come out on the other side, I believe, which makes us who we are and are powerful enough to stand up, take a stand, stay committed, to
Mhm.
what our message is and how we can impact and influence other people. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about. And
Yeah.
I love that you're using your platform and who you are and who you've become and all this stuff to help other entrepreneurs or whatever to become unstoppable and unshakable. And
Yeah.
I know you wrote a best-selling book, and you speak on everything. I think you've been on every TV show there is.
Maybe. Been on a lot of them. I've been fortunate, but never really, not as much with this message, right? I got to sing and do things like that. But over the past 20 years, for me, um, my message and the way I deliver it has evolved. And I think for many people, all of us, the entire world, 2020 exposed a lot, didn't
Yeah.
it? Exposed a lot that was going on in our lives. And for me, it exposed the fact that I had been leaning so heavily on other people giving me jobs, aka in the entertainment industry, whether that was with the commercial work that I do, whether that's singing or whether that's in theater or whatever it may be. And I realized, oh, this is where I have the opportunity to pivot. And it's
Mm.
why I wrote my first best-selling book, Audition Secrets, which is just for entertainers. But I mean, anybody can learn from it, but really it's for actors, singers, dancers, and why I'm now writing Unshakable
I need
Confidence.
that. Audition Secrets.
Yeah, I wrote Audition Secrets. That one's done. That one's right up here. That's
I
that
need
one.
all the help I can get.
But now I in that the experience of writing Audition Secrets, of a whole audition experience that I went through, which made me feel so less than, which, funny enough, is kind of the thing that a lot of entrepreneurs, that's the catalyst for a lot of entrepreneurs getting into the business, being like, right, like, oh my goodness, I feel this pain and I've figured out how to overcome it. Now I can help other people overcome that pain. And yet through that experience of Audition Secrets, the past 20 years of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs in my career, I recognized that a lot of people, whether they were singers, actors, dancers, entrepreneurs, authors, influencers, they come to me and they say, well, how do you do what it is that you do on the stage? Or how do you do this? Or how do you, don't those voices in your head say that you can't? And they should have all. And I recognize, oh my goodness, the undercurrent of so much of what I have helped people with, what people have come to me is about confidence.
Yes.
Right. And so there you go. Thanks. Rally's on it. So, it's just like that. Audition Secrets, if we take that as a microcosm, auditioning, same thing as doing an interview, same thing as getting up on a stage and doing a speech in front of other people, same thing as getting up in a fitness competition and showing what it is that you've got and being adjudicated for it. It all stems from the confidence to, like you said, to get up, to share our message, to put ourselves out there.
Yeah.
But there's so much when it comes to confidence that I think that there's myths, and it's actually one of the first chapters of my book. It's like the myths around confidence. What is confidence? How do you build it? How do you destroy it? I was particularly good at that one. And so there are these myths that surround confidence. Like, okay, a lot of people think either you're born with it or you're not, right? Oh, I was just a shy person from birth. Or they think, you know what? I got to have 10, 20, 30 years of experience, or at least a year of experience in order to be able to confidently talk about this thing, or to be confident about this thing or that thing. Or, you know what? I got to have this piece of paper on the wall that has letters behind it that says that I've earned the right to be confident, right?
Yeah, justify who you are.
Yeah, to justify it. And yet that's
self-worth,
not true. And if anything has shown us that, it's 2020, because look at the explosion of people who have been making podcasts, who have been making shows, who have been writing books, who have been doing these things that serve at a high level, and yet they're just starting out, right? Which is so amazing. So confidence at the end of the day, and I know that you've heard this, but I'd love to tell your listeners briefly, confidence is a skill, just like chewing gum without swallowing it, just like tying your shoes, riding a bike, obviously barring any mental or physical challenges. Anybody can do those things. And so I like to tell people that confidence is a skill that anybody can develop.
I've never heard that, actually.
Right. Yeah, but it's like, it's a skill that anybody can develop. But just, and so when we think about confidence, then, okay, so we've dispelled some of the myths, but what is confidence? And I'll briefly touch on it. Confidence, when we look at the word confidence, the English root word of confidence is confide, which means to trust, which is why we tell our secrets to a confidant, a confidant, someone we trust, right? So when we don't have confidence or self-confidence, it means we don't trust ourselves. Oh, okay.
Wow.
But what's the deep part, right? But if we want to take it a level deeper there, and this is something that my mentor Myron Golden told me, and when he told me, it was like that moment where it's just like, oh, the clouds part and the sun rays shine down. And he said, look, when we don't trust ourselves, it means we don't have confidence. When we don't have confidence, it means we don't trust ourselves. But when you realize that the people you come in contact with in the world, in your life, they don't see you through their eyes. They see you through your eyes. And when you don't have confidence, AKA when you don't trust yourself, you're literally telling the people you come in contact with that they can't trust you.
Wow.
So
makes sense, actually.
That beautiful place of radical responsibility. So let's say, okay, well, great. Well, confidence is a feeling, right? I trust myself. I don't trust myself. But what's the cost? Oh, okay. Let's talk about business. When you don't trust yourself in business and you want to get into a relationship with someone else, you're eventually going to show them or do things that prove to them that they shouldn't trust you. If you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions, if you don't trust your instincts, if you don't trust relationships, intimacy, right? Skill, that's right.
There you go.
I want to rally. It's like if in relationships, you want to build an intimate and deep connection with someone in a relationship, and yet you don't trust yourself, you're literally telling that people, and far often, that they shouldn't trust you. And you'll show them, and God knows I've done things in my past relationships where I haven't trusted myself, and I've shown other people that they shouldn't trust me either. You make bad food choices, right? As someone in a fitness place, if you don't trust yourself, you make bad food choices. You make bad fitness choices. Make bad money choices because you don't trust yourself for the money, and you don't trust yourself to do the right thing because you don't even trust that the right thing is going to work. So that, is just a brief glimpse into what the cost of not having confidence, AKA not trusting ourselves,
everything, really.
The tax that it can levy in our lives.
It costs you your business, your relationships, your deeper connections, all of that. Yeah. It comes down to that self-worth as well, which so many people don't have that because they've been told since they were little, you're this, you're that. People, you believe those things. It's that limiting self-talk is just so powerful. And we all have it. It's how we cope with it and squash it out and change those negative self-talk, right, into positive things and build that confidence. I've never looked at it as a skill. People have always told me that since I was a little girl, I've always been very confident. I put myself out there all the time. Yeah. And I didn't know what that was. And, competing on stage and doing all these crazy things. Sure. Just putting myself out there. Is it easy? No. Does it take risk? Yes. Do you get nervous? Of course. But you do it anyway. But I think, like you said, I guess if you keep doing something over and over again, even if you're a speaker or whatever, you keep getting on stage and just keep talking, you build that confidence because you get better as you keep doing it. Yeah. Right. And for you to stand on stage in front of 30 million people, what did that actually feel like? That's what having to have confidence.
But that, it's interesting. There are a couple of things that what you just said bring to mind. When we go back to what you said, that self-worth, right? Or self-esteem, that negative self-talk. I like to think of it like a thermostat. Right? If you have your self-esteem thermostat set low, it does not matter how much success you have, the people who come into your life and relationship, what your body ends up looking like, if it's some amazing thing, the business, whatever, you will always bring yourself back down to that base temperature of your self-worth, right? And it's the matter of doing the things that most people are afraid to do in order to crank up your self-worth, crank up the temperature, right? Which is, like you said, which is investigating and removing and washing out, which is a beautiful way of putting it. It's like, I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair, the old song, right? It's just like washing out the debris and the dirt, as even if it's built up over decades,
Years,
and then replacing it with something that actually serves you, which actually raises the temperature of your self-esteem and your self-worth. And then, from there, you talked about having the just the ability to put yourself out there, and you were always someone who just did that. And I think what I hear there is you were someone who was either probably in the beginning, like we all were, ignorant to what failure was.
Right.
That's it. And the sad thing is just the start
Guarini.
stops most people. It's that place where they get to a feeling of failure, where either they're afraid, based on that low temperature, they're afraid that they're going to, and they start having these visions of, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, and they start seeing that negative future vision, so they don't even begin. Right? The pain of just seeing those things and feeling those things is too much to even start. But then when we get along the way, when we do what it is that you did and put yourself out there, when we do what it is that I did and get up on the stage and put myself out there, when we fail, far too many of us see that failure as the destination and not a part of the process. Because when you're in that moment of failure, when you hit that wall, that I don't care if you're a fitness expert or you're a singer, actor, a dancer, an entrepreneur, an author, there you come up against a brick wall all the time through every single level of success and every single level of growth. Yet when we hit that wall, too many people feel like it's the destination and they stop. Instead of, like you said,
push through.
Recognizing that you push through or go over or dig under or do whatever it is that you have to do. And the thing is that the pushing through is not this, I'm going to put my head down and boom. No, the pushing through is just learning.
Exactly.
Is taking it in, right? Is taking in the lessons and saying, okay, this pain hurts. What can I learn from this to never experience it again?
That's right. Look at it as an opportunity, not a stopping block.
Yes.
But like you said, so many people just stop because it becomes too much.
Yes.
There really is no such thing as failure. I truly believe that. It's just, like you said, a method or a step along your journey. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just,
I think, what was it? Thomas Edison said, I just learned, it's like on his 10,000th try, he figured out the light bulb, right? Then he said, I just learned 9,999 times how not to do it. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. We learn what not to do.
Yeah.
But it's, I love that you say that it's a skill, and I think that gives a lot of people hope.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, well, either they were born with it or they weren't.
Yeah.
And you're saying that that's not true at all, that you can develop this skill, and just by keep putting yourself out there and, just keep going through and not caring. I think when we get attached to the results is where we get ourselves in trouble.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
Right. It's like just doing something and not attached to the outcome, do it anyways, and just keep going for it. Really.
That is such a beautiful point. That is such an amazing point. And yes, you're worth it. But and that's that thermostat, right? I am worth the body that I desire. I am worth the spiritual connection I desire. I'm worth the relationships with my spouse or a loved one or my kids or my family that I desire. I'm worth the business, the making, the keeping, the growing, and the giving of money that I desire, right? And so it's just the point that you make there of not attaching yourself to the outcome is huge. I want to stick on that for 1 second.
Absolutely.
Because that is the basis of Audition Secrets. That is it is when we let go of our addiction to the outcome that we desire, like that we think we should have.
Right.
And the exact way we think we should have it, amazing things happen. I have gotten to play this character called Lil Sweet
Yes, I know. I
Diet
want to
Dr.
bring
Pepper
that up.
commercials,
We have a
right?
clip of that.
Oh yeah, I usually have a clip. If Riley, if you want to play that clip, let me know because I want to tell you a very interesting story about that.
Well, we
So
Any day now, Mom.
Little sweet coming out of the deep end, totally dry.
Take this.
Mama, give your lungs a breather. Those tired lips deserve something sweeter. A Diet Dr. Pepper. Ooh.
Sweet.
Mama likes it sweet.
Hey, how about me?
I came for her.
Are you a lifeguard or something?
No, but I know CPR.
Help me, I'm drowning.
Little sweet taking off like a rocket. Diet Dr. Pepper. It's the sweet one.
so ridiculous, so ridiculous.
Hello, national commercial.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't hurt. But
Paychecks are ridiculous.
that commercial.
But did you
and
do several, like a whole series?
I mean, there's about 7 years of that so far, and
10 years of playing Little Sweet?
yeah,
That's
it's wild.
awesome. Congratulations.
Absolutely, cheers. But what's so interesting is it is the embodiment of letting go of the outcome. I was in a Broadway show called Wicked for 9 months, and I was commuting back and forth between my home here in Pennsylvania and New York. It's about 5 hours round trip. So I was exhausted. I had just finished up a run in it. It's an amazing show and I love it. But I was tired. And so my agent's like, hey, there's this audition. Yeah, it's for a commercial soft drink thing. And I looked at it and I was like, rock star. I don't look that's not me. And I'm exhausted. Thank you. No.
You
And
said
then
no.
a few days. Yeah, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I just want to have my vacation. And a few days later, one of my reps called me up and she was like, did you turn down this audition for this thing? And I was like, yeah, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this. She's like, you should go. I said, no. She said, you should go. I said, no. You should go. No. Go.
Wow.
Fine. I'll go.
You fought it all the way.
I did. And so I'm on the train up to New York, just like, right. I get into the audition room, as many of us do, and I walk in and I see all these dudes who are like rock starred out. And I'm like, I don't look anything like these people. I read the sides and I see all the 80s rock stars in a blender. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so I walk into the room.
You didn't care. That's the thing.
I didn't care. I cared about doing a good job. But what did I do? I let go of the outcome. And I was 150,000% present in the here and now, or the there and then that I was in. And so I walk into the room and there are these 2 LCD screens that have all the sides on them. So I don't have to memorize anything. And there's a casting assistant with a camera, just kind of look a little bored. And they give me this like sequin jacket, like paper thin that you can get at Party City, USA, and like a silly scarf. And I am like, all right, well, I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to have fun. I don't care because I'm not getting this job. I care about doing a good job. But if I have 5 hours out of my day that I'm going to sit on a train plus however long I spend here, I'm going to have fun.
Right.
And so I saw in brackets, Lil Sweet slides in on his knees. It was the first commercial. And I said, okay. I was like, well, all right. Am I out? No. Am I out? No. And I was like, am I out? He's like, yep, you're out. And I literally on my knees, just like, Lil Sweet sliding in on his knee and just having a good time, and was singing things that weren't supposed to be sung, was just being a general ass and having just doing things that I would do to make my kids laugh, like just having a good old time. And I walked out of there and I was like, never getting that one. And long story short, they had me come back the next day and it turned into 6-7 years worth of one of the greatest, most lucrative jobs that I've ever had in my life. Why? Because I let go of the outcome and I just decided to just be me and have fun.
And have fun. That's what it's all about. Look at
there you go.
Oh, look at that. I love it. Look at the
there
hair.
You go. Yeah. Ridiculous. Every year we get on the set, I'm like, I can't believe you guys pay me to do this. Right? I can't believe you're paying me to be completely silly and ridiculous. But that's the thing. When you have that message and you're not afraid to show it, you just have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've been there a few times myself. And
yeah, I know.
had a lot of auditions over the years.
Yeah.
And once I leave there, I just like forget about it. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
got something. I got actually a couple different things that I got callbacks for, and I
Mhm.
forgot what it was even for.
Yeah.
Casting director had to remind me like what the project was.
Good.
Yeah, because I didn't care, like it because you can't. Otherwise, you'd just be wiped out. You know what I mean?
The amount of energy that it takes, right? It's like the best thing that you can do, find a
Forget about
recycling bin. But the best thing you can do is when you come out of the room, just rip up the sides and put them in recycling and move along.
and move. Yep, right. If you get it, you get it. It's supposed to be. If
Yeah.
you don't, you don't. And
Yeah.
I've had
And I
to.
mean, look, you can analyze it afterwards, but if you have a formula or something, but you just Kara's like she literally
Yes, she knows.
forgets, like she cannot remember. So yeah, it's like if you have a formula to go back and analyze, right? It's like I'm sure after a competition at some point you can go back and you can analyze, oh, what could I have done better here? But you don't use it to beat yourself over the head with it.
You cannot.
And that's the challenge that a lot of people do just in life, right? Not to mention, auditions and high stakes adjudication events,
Yeah, I forget about that, and then I'm always looking forward. Like, what's
Right.
next? You know what I mean? That's just I think my gift or my secret is
Yeah.
never looking back.
Yeah.
Always just living in the moment. Whatever's supposed to be is supposed to be, and
Yeah.
accepting that. And if it's not, it's not. No big deal. And just going forward. It's like, what's next? What's next? And there's always something that comes with that attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think about things and it comes. It's amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's really exciting.
Beautiful.
I just got off a huge project with Casey Musgraves.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She's really sweet. And to be transparent, I didn't know who she was. I'm not a country person,
Yeah.
But I got casted in this thing, and it actually was the same director from Justin Bieber's Yummy video that you saw a little clip of.
Yeah.
And that director remembered me because, again, being professional on set goes a long ways, as you know.
It does.
It
Yes.
does. And so he remembered me. I got casted in this other thing, and it ended up being this huge thing. It was like a 7-day music video.
What?
Of her, 7 days of her filming. It was insane.
Wow, that is insane. Usually it's like you get 36 hours at most.
Right. It was 7 long days, actually over 2 weeks, and a compilation, I guess, of her songs and telling the story. And it was
Very cool.
huge budget, Justin. Huge. I mean,
It had to be.
Had cars hanging over horses. Like it was just like this massive thing.
Amazing.
Massive. Yeah. Eugene Levy made a cameo from.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, he was so great, so professional to work with.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun. Like I said, I just had fun. I wasn't attached. I didn't even know who she was. And here I am. On the set, my first words to her, I'm like, well, I spanked Lady Gaga's ass. I guess I'll carry yours. she's like, really? She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really? Because that was the scene. I literally physically had to carry her.
Sure.
That was our first encounter. And then I had like 3 different scenes doing that. And
amazing.
But so funny. But just being real and just being yourself, and people like that, I feel that just goes a long way. And you've had the opportunity to be around, many celebrities. You're one yourself. And I mean, how do people treat you in public? Is it crazy or?
Around where I live, it's kind of like sometimes I feel like, where's Waldo? Like I'll just pop up. I remember somebody said that. It's like, where's Waldo? He just pops up in the most random places around town.
Well,
and yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. And so it's interesting with this. I always used to joke, if my hair could sing and act and dance, the rest of me would be out of a job, because it's so iconic and it's people remember a lot from this. I can be wearing a mask and doing all this stuff, and people are like, Justin, because they see this massive thing, and they know that I live around here.
Branding, really,
right? It's great. It's great branding. I don't have no complaints of it. Right? Yeah, exactly. Like you see what's the
wow,
right, and so you can't beat that kind of branding. However, what's really interesting is that people are pretty calm. I'm really fortunate that they're just they treat me like a normal person, which I enjoy. But yet I have the ability to be able to get my foot into some doors that maybe some other people can't get their feet into, because of the fact that I was and I did what I did, and that I do what I do.
Absolutely. Are you still friends with Kelly Clarkson? Do you still hang out with her or talk to her?
Yeah, I mean, talk about 2 different universes, but I was on her show I can't remember when I was on her show. And it was awesome to just see the fact that she really hasn't changed in the essence of the fact that she is off camera exactly who she is on camera. And it's just so interesting. Again, you talk like 20 years, like 20 years, and knowing that we were both just kids, like kids being exposed to this massive machine.
Yes,
it's pretty wild.
It is wild. She kissed my bicep one time.
I'm not surprised.
Not funny. Yeah, my big claim to fame with Kelly. I was at a concert and she was singing, walking down the aisle, and I was in the front in the row, and I just popped out and I did one of these, and she started kissing. The whole crowd went insane.
I'm sure.
It was really funny. Then I was with her at the iHeart Music Awards, which was really cool when Jamie Foxx hosted it. I opened it up with Iggy Azalea and Jennifer. Yeah, there we go, with Jennifer Hudson and Iggy Azalea.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun. So I kind of got a taste of, that live insane excitement with Nick Jonas, and everybody was there. Taylor Swift, Madonna,
awesome.
Snoop, like the iHeart Music Awards was huge.
Yeah, of course.
That year. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be part, a talent, just hanging out with all these people. Jamie Foxx is so funny. He's like, what do you eat? Like air and celery.
I was like, you have no idea what I eat.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. But just that adrenaline and that excitement. So, and you get to do that all the time, which is so cool.
Yeah, but there's something to also be said for the times like when you just pull back and are with family, and when you just relax and you don't do. And I think a lot of people in the entertainment field get addicted to that high. I mean, it's like you wonder why you have so many drug addicts and people who are like, you get if you buy into that high, if you buy into the press, if you buy into I need to be clapped at, and trust me, I'm someone who loves being clapped at, right? But like, I mean, that's my self-worth. Then I think it's a trap. And it's the reason why we see so many people who have it all fall into horrible drug habits, end their lives prematurely, and don't live up to the potential that they have. And again, it's like we bring it all the way back around to confidence and to trusting in yourself. And when you don't have that trust in yourself, you're going to look outside, you're going to look to an audience, or you're going to look to followers or vanity metrics like likes, or like how many people bought my album, or all to define you. And it's the kiss of, sometimes literally the kiss of death.
Yeah, you're so right. When you're looking for that outside of validation, it's just come from within. For me, I just feel that, we're God's children, and he created us to be this awesome person. And if we don't think we are, we're like letting him down. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's just such a powerful thing to put in there.
Yeah. And I think that what's interesting about that is that if we don't live up to our potential, we're talking about, especially from a spiritual perspective, right?
Yes.
I think if we don't live up to our potential, and if we don't make ourselves a vessel, or I just strengthen ourselves as a vessel, in this instance for his work, we are literally worth less to his mission and desire. We're not worthless. We just become worth less. I mean, now look, put universe on this, put God, put Buddha, put Allah, Yahweh, doesn't matter. But if you believe in a higher power, and you believe that higher power has good and desires good for the world and for mankind, then if you aren't living up to your full potential, then you are worth less to that movement, less to that energy. You're not worthless, you're just worth less, which is why it's so important, right? Which is why it's so important. It's like, look, yes, you want to feed starving children in Africa, but you can't balance your checkbook, right? You are worth less to that mission.
Makes sense.
That makes sense. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you're worthless. Just means, but go out and provide some value in the marketplace, make some money so that you can give more and be worth more to whatever mission it is that you desire. to
Yeah,
fulfill.
and serve. I think when you come from a
Exactly.
serving,
Yeah.
mindset,
Yeah.
that it just changes everything. Instead of
Yeah.
what can I get, it's what can I give.
Hmm.
And I just think once you realize that and how that really works, because it does,
Yeah.
it changes everything in your relationships, in your business, your connections, like everything. It's just the changing of the mindset. I know every speaker and coach and entrepreneur talks about mindset
Sure.
because it's the key to everything. Like you said, that confidence and building that inner skill of that starts with a mindset. You have to
Right.
desire that, right? You have
Hmm.
to decide it, make a decision, make a commitment, and take a stand and
Hmm.
follow through. There you go. Mindset is everything. See,
Yeah.
I speak what's printed.
Yeah. It's a
But
good
yeah, because
thing.
it's so powerful, and you proved it all along. I know you've had your ups and downs in your career, but here
Sure.
you are. You keep going, and you're here to talk about it and share with other people. Let's talk a little bit about your book.
Yeah.
With Unshakable Confidence is
That's the one. There it is.
yeah, there it is. Yes. I mean, yeah. So what's in it that you can share with our viewers? Like,
Well, we
I
talked
wanted to
about.
buy the book, but
Sure,
some
sure,
highlights.
sure. Well, we talked about the myths around confidence. We talked about confidence, what it is, what it isn't.
Mhm.
But for example, over here for me, behind you, we put pictures in frames. Why? No, because it helps separate them from the wall, right? Helps to guide our eye to the main subject, right? In this case, it's Hank Aaron for me. And so I love to, and the reason why I wrote this book is because ultimately it's putting a huge frame around the conversation of confidence. It's not just some vague thing, and it's not just mindset. It's not just your actions. It's not all that. And so there's a formula that I use, and it is the development of 4 key skills and the application of those 4 key skills to the 4 key areas of our life. So what are those 4 key skills? The 4 key skills are clarity,
Yes.
commitment,
Yes.
creativity,
Perfect.
and certainty.
Oh, I
And now
love
each
it.
one of those has its own subcategories, right? But those 4 are clarity, commitment, creativity, and certainty. And then when we take those 4 and apply them to the 4 key areas of our life, our body, our spirituality, whatever that means to you, our relationships, significant other, children, family, our business, the making, keeping, growing, and giving of money. When we get clarity, when we gain commitment, when we gain creativity and gain certainty in those areas, that becomes then the foundation of unshakable, unbreakable confidence that we can build the life of our dreams on. The reason why I put on my book the powerful formula for being, doing, having, and giving more than you ever imagined is because within that little what would you call it, subtitle, is a secret formula. It's not secret by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's secret from a lot of people who don't necessarily pay attention to it.
Right.
So when we take clarity, commitment, creativity, certainty, and apply those to our body, our spirituality, our relationships, and our business, we are delving deep into a formula that has been around since the beginning of time. And the formula, the secret formula, is be, do, have.
Be to
Be,
have.
do, have, right? We've seen there's been a plethora of books written about be, do, have.
Yeah.
In the Bible, it's right, it's very simply, it's like be fruitful and multiply, right? There's a be there, and then do, be for the fruitful and multiply, have more people, right? Be, do, have. We see it throughout time, and yet what's interesting, especially here in America, we have been taught, trained, and educated to flip that on its head and to go about that backwards. Instead of be, do, have, we do have, do,
Have.
be. For example, money, big
Yeah.
hot button topic, right?
Right.
I need to have X amount of dollars
So
so that I can do the things that I want to do, so that I can be happy, successful, fulfilled, closer to my people. Right?
backwards.
Yeah, and it's backwards because when we say I have to have these things, it's outside of ourselves. It's not dealing with what our behaviors are, our self-image is, what our actions have been in the past, what we're committed to do in the future. It's unclear, and it all responds and waits on things outside of ourselves. And so when we get into the conversation instead of be, do, have, that's when we are able to flip the script. So let's take money, for example. I know you're having a little bit of internet issues here, so no worries. I'll take over. Thanks, Riley. So when we flip the script, instead of what do I need to have in order to do the things that I need to do in order to be the thing or person that I want to be, when we flip it, and let's take again, money. Okay. We ask ourselves, okay, who do I need to be? Who must I become? And therein lies power. Therein lies a secret that so many people miss because I got to have this. I got to have, no. That's all outward. But inwardly, when we ask the question, who must I become? There's power. There is a deep investigation that occurs when we say, okay, who am I now? We talk about that clarity piece, right? The first pillar of core confidence, unshakable confidence, clarity, gaining clarity. Who am I being now? And who must I become? Let's take money. I want to make $100,000 extra this year. Okay. Most people think, well, what do I need to have? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? But they don't think about who do I need to be? Who must I become in my thoughts? Who must I become in my actions? Who must I become in my education? Because that deals with our internal struggles. Who must I see myself as? We talked about with Lauren, we talked about that self-esteem, that self-image. Who must I see myself? Who must I become? Then, based on that person that I am being, another way of even saying that is who must I show up as on a daily basis? Because when we ask ourselves those questions, we come up with powerful answers. And those powerful answers then move us to the next step in the formula from being, who must I be, to then what must I do? Because Einstein, I think, said it, that a person cannot solve a problem from the same place and mindset that they created the problem from in the first place. You getting this? Does this make sense? Who must I become? And then as I evolve into that person, as I think differently, as I behave differently, as I act and take actions differently, then it will inform what I must do. Because I guarantee you, especially if you're watching this show right now, I guarantee you that you know what you must do. What must I do? Exactly, right? What must I do? So who must I become? What must I do? And getting to this point of what must I do, right? Like when it comes to your body, you know what you need to do. Most everybody knows what they need to do. When it comes to your spiritual relationship with God, Yahweh, Buddha, Allah, the universe, source, spirit, you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do in your relationship with your significant other and your spouse to fix the problems. You know what you need to do with your children. You know what you need to do with your family, and you know what you need to do in your business. We all are intelligent enough to know. We've learned. And that knowing isn't necessarily, well, I have all the answers. No, maybe you know that you need to reach out for help. You know that you need to pick up that book that's on your shelf that you got about halfway through, but you didn't finish. You know what you must do. But if you are not willing to be a person who will figure that out and fix it, if you're not willing to show up as a king, if you're a man, willing to show up as a queen if you're a woman, willing to show up as a non-binary ruler if you're someone who doesn't identify either way, then you won't do the things that you know you must do. And one of my mentors, Garrett J. White, says, there's a man in every king, but there's not a king in every man. There's a woman in every queen, but there's not a queen in every woman. There is a non-binary person inside of every non-binary regent, but there's not a non-binary regent inside of every non-binary person. Who are you going to be today? How are you going to show up? Because that will then inform what you must do. And then based upon that action, that will then help you to understand what it is that you must be, do, and ultimately will guide you to having the things that you desire. Do you see how much more powerful, lasting, and even efficient that model is, as opposed to have, do, be, have, seeking from out here, never dealing with what's in here, or only briefly touching that? Do you see the difference in instead saying, I will start from within, and I will question and ask better questions of myself. I will question my thoughts. I'll question my actions. I'll question the things people have said about me, to me. And I'll develop my own compass, my own GPS. And I will ask myself, who must I become in order to then do what I know I must do so that I can have the things that I desire and the things that I deserve? And when it comes to unshakable confidence, what I'm writing in this book now is the map that helps to get you over that gap. What do I mean a gap? Interesting. Well, the first pillar, and I'm just going to keep going, Rally, until Lauren comes back. But, one of the first pillars of confidence, unshakable confidence, is clarity. And one of the biggest challenges with clarity is we goal set. Oh, what's wrong with goal setting? Oh, nothing's wrong with goal setting, right? Clarity up there, first one. Well, we do what I call December 31sting ourselves. You ever been around, December 31st, every single year of December 31st around 11:59 and 50 seconds. We're like 10, 9, 8. And in that 10 seconds before the turn of the new year, the beginning of a brand new time in our lives, we think, oh man, this next year, I'm going to lose X amount of weight, or I'm going to gain X amount of muscle. This next year, I'm really going to pray more. I'm going to meditate more. Oh, this next year, I'm going to spend more time with my spouse, with my kids, and really spend family time, and deepen my relationships. This next year, I'm going to make X amount of thousands of dollars more. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to write that book. I'm going to XYZ, start that podcast, right? And it's this vague sort of thing, and we can see it. Maybe we get super clear on it. Maybe we attend a 5-day challenge, right? Like Lauren has on here. And maybe we get so clear on that future vision. More often than not, we don't, but let's just, for the sake of argument, say we do. Yet, why is it when the bell tolls and it's midnight and it's a brand new year, and over the next few weeks we get out and we jog, or we go and we pray, or we spend more time with our family, or we sit down and we write that book, or we make a business plan, or we double down on our advertising, marketing, sale, whatever it is? Why is it that halfway through February things fall apart? I don't feel like getting up today and jogging. You know what? I'll pray tomorrow. Or, I'll that. Why does it fall apart? We got so clear. We spent time during a 5-day challenge, or we picked up a book, or we did something, and we got super clear on our goals and our targets. Why? Well, the first pillar of unshakable confidence is clarity. And yes, it is great to be clear about the things in the future. However, we don't get clear on who we are today. Again, brings us back to, who must I become? the deeper question there is, who am I being today? How am I showing up today? Because until we truly understand and get clear on who we are today, everything else into the future is fantasy. It's not until we understand who we are being today and then continue the question into who must I become in the future or tomorrow or whatever that is for you. Who must I be in the act of becoming? Until we get clarity on those two places, especially who we are being today, because most of us are living in fantasy right now. Most of us are living in a place where we are ignorant of who we are being, how we are showing up with our body, how we are showing up in our relationships, how we're showing up in our spirituality, how we're showing up in our business, or we ignore the facts. And so when I say that gap, I mentioned a gap before, right? The gap between who you are today and who it is that you want to be over here 3, 6, 9, 12, 36 months into the future. That's the challenge that most people literally fall into the gap. Lauren's coming back. Here's Lauren. Most people, I'm just finishing up real quick here. Most people fall into the gap because they lack clarity. They lack clarity on who they are today, and they lack clarity on who or what it is that they want to be in the future. And so we leap and we fall into a pit. Right? Because we don't get clear on these two things. And then, which is part of the roadmap that I am giving you in the book, is how do we use the bridge, the planks, the day by day planks that create the bridge between where we are and where we want to be. And that is through commitment, through creativity, through certainty. Obviously starting with clarity, right? And so I'm so glad you're back, Lauren. I just got to preach for about 10 minutes there.
I know. Take over the show. I love it. You're yeah.
No worries.
Going live, but it is what it is.
Yeah, of course.
We get through it. And you got to talk about your 4 C's. I absolutely love it. Break it down.
Cheers.
And really, logically digestible so you can put it in an order that makes sense. And actually action and follow through. There it is. Clarity, commitment, creativity, certainty.
Yeah.
So that's your secrets.
That's right. I'm excited. Yeah. So I'm really excited to finish up this book. It'll be out next month. And man, it has been a lot of fun. It's been a labor of love. And the thing about this book is I didn't want something that people would just be like, oh, I'm going to read this. And okay, great. I wanted it to be something that people interact with, right? Yeah. And so it's exciting for me to have sections and mini assignments and other things that I give people in the book that helps them to gain that clarity, understand the commitment, tap into their creativity, and ultimately draw from the well of certainty that will get them from where they are to where they want to be.
Yes, I love it. How you make it, simple step. And I love the interaction with the workbook. I also wrote the same thing after every chapter is a workbook on how you take what you read and apply it to yourself. And so you can take action.
All right, let's go.
To level yourself up, right? It's really no secret, but it's you have to make that decision and you have to want to do something. You know what I mean? And then make that commitment and then take action. So many people, that's where they fall short is like, I want to do this or yeah, that sounds great. But then they don't follow through and take action to get where they want to be. And if you've taken action, and you just keep pushing through and just going forward and doing all these interviews and singing in front of millions of people and just putting yourself out there time and time and time again. And it's amazing. And look where you are now. I love that you're taking your life journey and sharing it with the world on a different message on how they can get, clarity and confidence. And I think that is so powerful that you're now this huge coach instead of, this a singing rock star.
It all sounds so silly. Doesn't it just sound sing rock star? Like I don't feel that way, and I've had ups and downs in my careers, and I just literally my careers because they've been so varied and strange. But I just and I think this is something that's near and dear to your heart as well, is that you get to a place where you realize it feels so good to serve.
Yeah. I think that's where it's at. I think we're
Yeah.
all designed that way, but we
Yeah.
have to get clarity, like you said, and that certainty, and make that commitment. And then you're in a position where you can serve, and you gain
Yeah.
a celebrity status where maybe people can to listen to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's powerful in itself, that you're using your life experience for such good. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited that you've been
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. I was like, okay, I got to go real deep into some of the principles and some of the theories. So it's fun for
Yeah.
me.
I mean, that's what this whole show is about. The Power Hour is just letting entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, people like yourself, celebrities, really just getting their message out, and
Mhm.
hopefully it impacts whoever's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, hope so.
Also, a podcast. We're live right now on a few different platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We're everywhere.
Amazing. Amazing. Look at that.
And
Right in your hand, right in the palm of your hand. Beautiful.
That's right. That's right. And we're fairly new, but we're still going. Like you said, I just keep pushing through, no matter who's listening or who's not listening. It's just taking action and following
Yeah.
through, getting
Yeah.
people like yourselves on here that have something really powerful to say.
Yeah.
And it's exciting that you've had such, a colorful career. Really. Are you not singing anymore, or what's going on with
No,
you?
I definitely am. I definitely am. That's another thing. People are like, "Hey, so you still singing?" Like, yeah, I am. I just know that it's partially, I think, boredom, maybe ADHD, but also just being forced. I mean, in 2020, I was forced to pivot, as many of us were in some way or another, right? And so my pivot was, okay, my entire industry is shut down. Literally every revenue stream that I had, gone. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. Right. So I got to figure something else out. And that's why I doubled down. I've been coaching, I've been speaking, but like I doubled down on all of it. And just now I'm beginning to see a lot of the fruits of that labor over the past 20 months ripening and getting ready for harvest. So it's like, it's everything that we spoke about. Yeah, it's just doing the work. And like you just said, it's like you make a decision, you commit to it, and you take action. And
Perfect.
right, that those are the three things that you put up in the graphic. And like, there it is. You make that decision, you make a commitment, you take action. It's like, I made the decision. And then once you make that commitment, it's like you gotta keep going. And that's the difference, right? That it's like that seesaw, right? It's like, if you don't, there's a reason I love that the commitment's right in the middle, because if you keep going and then boom, you tip over into taking action. But if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're always going to be coming back to that place of, am I making a decision? I'm going to make the decision today. No, I'm going to make it tomorrow. No, I'm not, right? And it becomes a seesaw effect that gets you seasick. And most people, the pain of that makes people jump off, right?
Makes you seasick. I love that.
Yeah. So when you actually make that commitment, look, if you had told me, and I'm sure same thing for you or for anybody else listening who's ever achieved anything of success, like, especially when it comes to the entrepreneurial journey, if you told me it was going to be this hard, if you told me that if I knew what it was, I might not have started. I might have just been like, let me just be an actor or whatever, or let me take a desk job. But it's that beautiful, and nothing wrong with desk jobs, by the way. Like, right. It's just that beautiful ignorance that happens when you're at the beginning of a movement, or the beginning of developing your message, or the beginning of putting yourself out there. It's that beautiful ignorance that I think allows us to get over a lot of the first wildness of doing it, right?
Yes, because it's not easy. This entrepreneurship life is not hard. My life.
Yeah, having your own business. Look, if having a business was easy, everybody would do it.
There you go. I say that all the time. It's the hard that makes it good too. If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's in my book as well. But it's so true. But it's having that purpose and having that passion and that inner drive and working with confidence, building that skill, like you said, and getting those 4 C's in order. and just putting yourself out there, following up, all of those things you can't miss. You know what I mean? Keep doing those things that we've been talking about for the past hour. You're going to be not attached to the. I think that's the really key secret, especially in our world. You know, you keep putting it out there, and you're literally auditioning for your life thing, but not caring. Like, you look at what you achieve by not caring. You have attitude like, I'm not going to get this. Who cares? I'm going to have fun. And look at you, became this huge icon for that particular brand.
Ridiculous.
But he knows it's amazing because of that. I just think that's such a success story, and I just love that you shared that with. It's
just letting go of the outcome.
We need to get your book, and we need to stay in contact with you.
Please.
We're at the hour. Is there like a website, or what do you want us to know?
Absolutely. Right there.
There it is.
On top of it, justinguarini.com. You can check everything that there is to be checkable, outable about me. And pretty soon, the Unshakable Confidence book will be out and available. And so I'm excited about that.
Yes, I'm excited too. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for all the people who are impact even more so.
Cheers.
We're at the top of the hour, honey. So I don't want to, I want to respect your time. You're absolutely amazing. This has been an honor, and I've been so grateful to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, thanks.
This is the best I've felt in weeks.
Yes, good.
Yes, guys need to stay healthy out there. It's this thing is no joke. Like Justin said earlier, it is no joke. It can take anyone to discriminate.
Yeah.
So please be careful out there. Be healthy. Be strong. Be fierce, and be you. Boom. Anyways, I love you, man. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much for giving me this platform and place to speak. Thank you for doing what it is that you do for women and for entrepreneurs all over the world. I really appreciate you, and it's an honor to be on your show. So thanks.
All of you. So yay. All right, my friend, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to wrap up my show, and it'll be available everywhere. And I'd love, you can share it with your fans, because I think you gave so much great insight. People that you read your book, they can get kind of see what you're all about, and stay connected with you, because you are awesome.
Thank you. So are you. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Justin. All right. What a great guy. I'm telling you. So you guys, yes, if you want to get on a call with me and figure out how you can, level up yourself as far as in your health, believe me, I've been through a lot, and I can even coach deeper on that about how important it is to take care of yourself, you guys. There's a free assessment call. The podcast will be everywhere. If you want to be a guest like Justin was on my show, just go to thepowerhourtv.com/guest. There it is. And we'd love to let you get your message out with some clarity and some commitment and your creativity, and share with the world what's going on in your world. Anything else? I want to thank Cara for all the comments, and Vicki Moore for being on here. I appreciate that so much. Cassandra, I didn't really get a chance to dive into your answers here, because Justin had a lot to say, which we love him for it. Anyways, you guys, I am going to sign off right now. This concludes another episode of the Power Hour with your host, the Faith and Fitness Queen, Lauren M. Powers. I love you guys. Stay healthy, please. Be strong, be fierce, and be you. Boom.